sun is like really shining today. Well, we're gonna get started in a seat. The comfortable way to start, we'll do both sides. You have props. It might be nice to prop your hip up on a bolster or roll your mat up for just some elevation to prop your hips up higher than your knees. Yeah, and we'll find 3 cleansing breaths. So in through your nose and start to lengthen your spine with your inhale and exhale out of your mouth and start to let your shoulders kind of relax away from your ears with your exhale and do that 2 more times at your own pace. And with your next inhale, reach your hands toward the sky. And with your exhale, twist to the right, look past your right shoulder. With an inhale, meet me back to the center. And with an exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to the center. We'll twist one more time on both sides. Go ahead and exhale to the right. Inhale to the center. Good morning, Lucky. How you doing? Exhale, twist to the left. I'm talking to Zoom. Right, and inhale back to the center. Find a neutral seat. Go ahead and cross your legs in the less natural way, just to find some symmetry in your hips. And we'll find a seated forward fold. So we're getting started in a regular seat. If you have pillows or blocks, you might prop your hips up higher than your knees. Yeah, and with an inhale, reach up, exhale to fold forward. And we'll be here for 5 breaths. Beginning to deepen your breath, walking your hands back to your body. We'll sit up nice and tall and just check in with your neck and your shoulders before we move into our cat-cow practice. So you might drop one ear to your shoulder and notice how this feels along your neck. And maybe you find a few head or circles with your head in one direction and in the other. As you check in with your shoulders, maybe a few shoulder rolls up and down in one direction and in the other. I don't know if you've ever been to my class before. Lucky, I give a lot of like options. Um, just do whatever feels most comfortable for you and kind of leave out what you don't think resonates so much in your body. Go ahead and lock your fingers behind your back and pull your knuckles toward the sky as you fold forward one more time. Beautiful. Inhale back up to a seat. Roll over your legs and we'll meet in a neutral tabletop. So once in your tabletop, go ahead and jump into your cat-cow practice. Moving your body with your breath. Inhales to cat pose, or cow pose, sinking your belly button low and looking up to the sky. And exhale to a round spine as you tuck your chin in your pelvis. Again, finding some organic movement. So maybe your knees are wider than your hips and you find circles in one direction and the other in your hips and shoulders. Check in with your wrist, turn your fingers outside, turn your fingers so they're facing your knees. Still moving with your breath, you might gently rock back and forth or side to side, releasing your wrist slightly from your mat. And once you've turned your hands back to a neutral position, we'll check in with our ankles. So extend your leg behind you, toes touching your mat or touching the earth. With an inhale, pull in. And as you exhale, lean into your heel. And do that maybe 2 to 3 more times, moving with your breath. Inhale to pull in. Exhale, leaning into your heels. And once you feel like that's enough, switch legs. And eventually we'll meet in a child's pose once both sides are done. As you begin to make your way to a child's pose, sending your attention to your breath, deciding what your intention will be for today's practice as well as the day. Maybe focusing on gratitude. What is there to be grateful for today? As soon as I woke up this morning, I came outside and was so excited that the sun was shining and that I'd get to be in community with y'all today. So I'm grateful to be here. Um, Grateful for the breath in my body. Grateful for hope. We'll be here for 5 more breaths, just thinking on your intention. Beginning to deepen your breath, we'll meet in a downward facing dog just for 1 breath. You might pedal out your heels before returning to a neutral tabletop. And once on your hands and knees, go ahead and make sure your fingers are spread wide apart to distribute that weight so you're not leaning and resting solely on your wrists. Curl your toes under, pull your belly button in towards your spine. And with a full breath in, raise your knees about 2 inches from your mat and breathe 3 breaths. Now with our exhale, we'll meet in a downward facing dog before returning to a tabletop. This time holding your down dog for 3 breaths. Again, yogi's choice if you'd like to find some movement in your down dog. Yeah, we'll go ahead and return our knees to your mat. Find a neutral table, toes curled, preparing to hover your tabletop. Engaging your core muscles with full breaths in, hover your knees off your mat. Don't forget to breathe. So your shoulders are still over your wrist. You're not in a full down dog just yet. You're just hovering your knees off of the mat. Yeah, and if you haven't, I'm sorry, go ahead to downward facing dog. And we'll meet in a neutral tabletop on hands and knees. And we're gonna do that table 1 more time before meeting in a down dog. If you need to find a child's pose or some cat cows before returning to the foundation for to hover your table, go ahead. All right, finding stillness, toes curled, your core is engaged. Inhale, hover your knees off of your mat. Breathe 3 full breaths in and out of your nose. And maybe with your exhales, your legs start to straighten, eventually landing in a downward facing dog, heels raised toward the sky. Yeah, bend your knees wide, send your seat back to your heels like you're gonna froggy jump. And exhale, step or jump to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale out of your mouth, fold forward. Full breath in, reach your hands high, look at the sky. Beautiful, palms touching over your head. Let your prayer hands land over your forehead. Exhale to your mouth. Exhale to your heart. Exhale your hands at your sides, Tadasana. I feel like a flow this morning. So we're gonna move a little. Inhale, your hands up high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to a plank for 3 breaths. If you need to modify your plank, go ahead and place your knees on your mat. Shoulders still over your wrists, your core still engaged. Exhale, touch down to your mat. We'll take a moment before we meet in a cobra, maybe resting one cheek at its side. Find some cleansing breaths. Turn your head to the other cheek. With full breaths in, press the earth away. Raise your chest, baby cobra, or upward facing dog if you want straight arms. 3 breaths once you're there. And with an exhale out of your mouth, downward facing dog. You don't have to exhale out of your mouth. I know it's weird with COVID. I'm still figuring that part out. Inhale, high heels, bend your knees wide. Look to the top of your mat, step or jump between your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach toward the sky. Palms touching. Prayer hands at your forehead, your mouth, your heart at your side. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank. Preparing to turn your plank on its side. Again, if you need to modify, place your right knee down. Inhale, reaching your hips higher. Beautiful. We'll meet in the center. One full in and out breath before turning your plank to the other side. Returning to the center, one full in and out breath, and we'll go ahead and meet in a child's pose. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot to the sky. With an exhale, step to the top of your mat. Your left knee touches down. We'll find a low plank. Now find some movement in your hips before you find stillness, rocking back and forth, meeting that wall in your hips where you feel like you can't really go further. That's where you're sending your breath. Yeah, and go ahead and find stillness. How are y'all doing? All right. 3 more breaths in this low lunge. Exhale, touch the top of your mat. Step back to a downward facing dog. Stay there or find your flow. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot to the sky. Exhale, step forward, low lunge. Again, notice how you feel in your hips. And when you're ready to find stillness, once you find that sweet spot, 5 breaths here. Exhale, touch the top of your mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Stay there or find your flow. We'll meet in a child's pose. Go ahead and roll onto your back. We'll find some full body stretches, reaching toward large mirror, toes pointing toward me. With your in breath, bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, touch your forehead to your knees. Do this about 3 times and we'll settle in to a starfish. So open arms, open legs. Because why not just lay in the grass and look at the clear blue sky on this beautiful November, 8th day. Sending your focus back to the intention that you set for this morning's practice. Shifting to an ocean ujjayi breath, constricting the back of your throat as you breathe in and out of your nose. If you haven't already, tuck your shoulders under, open your heart toward the sky. Notice if you are holding spaces full of tension inside of you. We're gonna exhale and try to release, just let that go, set it to the side of your yoga mat, whatever tension's built up inside of you. About 5 more breaths. As you deepen your breath, inhale your knees to your chest, beginning to rock along the length of your spine. We'll land in a boat pose. So balanced on your sits bones, legs bent or straight, up to you. Remember to breathe, engaging your core muscles here. 2 more breaths. Exhale, settle into a starfish. Take a moment here with open arms, open legs, and your heart open toward the sky. Nice. Beginning to deepen your breath. Bring your knees to your chest, rocking back and forth, land in a boat pose. 5 breaths. This time, if you choose to find some added movement here, maybe you lower your body down to your mat, not touching it all the way, and with your inhale, crunch back into your boat pose. Two more breaths. And with that next exhale, go ahead and release into your mat. Full breaths. Last time for our boat pose. Inhale your knees to your chest, rocking into this boat. Yogi's choice if you are still or if you choose to move here. Breathing full breath. Exhale, release into your mat. Placing your feet about hips width, preparing for bridge pose. Now, Pam, you have blocks, so it might be nice to slide a block under your back for a restorative bridge. When you're ready to inhale your hips toward the sky, breathe full breath. About 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Exhale, return your seat to your mat. Maybe bring your knees into your chest and maybe rock from side to side this time. Yeah, maybe you'll land in a happy baby for a moment before setting the foundation for another bridge pose. So go ahead and place your feet flat on your mat, about hips width, yep, close to your seat. Elbows tucked at your side, and as you deepen your breath, inhale, raise your hips toward the sky. Now, again, you might choose to pulse and find movement with your breath in this bridge pose as you lower your seat down. Inhale your hips high, or you might choose to be still for these next 3 breaths. Good morning. How are you? It's drier over here. Just saying, yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. And with this next exhale, releasing your seat back into your mat, knees to your chest. Find some movement before landing in a happy baby. Preparing to bridge, or maybe you find a full wheel if you have the movement within your spine and you feel like you're warmed up. Setting up for this next or for this last bridge or wheel. We'll spend 5 breaths there. Beautiful job. 2 more breaths. And with this next exhale, release into your mat. Go ahead and windshield wiper your knees from left to right a few times and inhale your knees to your chest and wrap your arms around your legs. Eventually landing in another happy baby. This time we'll be here for about 10 breaths. So you might start off still rocking from side to side, maybe straightening one or both of your legs in this happy baby before finding stillness. And remember to breathe full breaths. Is that a bee? My gosh. Something buzzed by me. Beginning to find stillness here. We'll go ahead and bring your knees to your chest, rocking back and forth. We'll go ahead and roll over your legs and we'll meet in a child's pose. Beautiful transition. And coming to lie totally prone. Is that what it is? Lie on your belly. Yeah. Should know these simple terms. Inhale your right knee up to your side. We're going to find a half frog pose. So if you feel like you have the space in your hips, go ahead and jump into a full frog. Open your arms wide. Yeah, turn your head to rest on one cheek. We'll try both cheeks for a gentle twist in your spine. I got a phone call. Sorry, I hope that didn't mess me up. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. What's the
Yes?
child? Yeah, I can hear you. What's the child's pose again?
No, we're doing a frog pose.
Oh, okay.
So lie on your belly and bend your right knee up to your side.
Oh,
Like so. If you can see me, you're gonna be like this, but lying completely on your belly.
oh,
Make sense?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make sure your foot is flexed. On the right leg, arms open wide. There you go. And you don't have to mute. You're the only person on Zoom, so feel free to talk to me. Sending your attention back to your breath, refocused on this ocean ujjayi breath. If you haven't already, turn your head to rest on the opposite cheek. Beginning to deepen your breath, extending your right leg behind you. We'll meet in a downward facing dog, right foot toward the sky. With an exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat, spin your back heel down, warrior one. So your right knee is bent over, your ankle, hips are facing forward. Go ahead, decide where you want your hands. Still breathing full breaths. With an inhale, straighten your leg, reach up to the sky. Go ahead and cartwheel your hands down. Step back to a downward facing dog. Stay there or find your flow. And with an exhale, go ahead and return your knees to your mat. Find a generous bend in your left leg, setting up for a half frog. And we'll lie down. Go ahead and turn your head to rest on the opposite cheek. We'll go ahead, extend your left leg behind you. We'll meet in a three-legged dog with your left foot reaching toward the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat, spin your right foot down, warrior one. Full breaths. Beautiful, straighten your leg, reach toward the sky. Full breath in. Exhale, touch the top of your mat, step back to a down dog, stay there or find your flow. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Raising your heels toward the sky, bend your knees wide, send your seat back to your heels. Go ahead and step or jump between your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to chair pose. Shifting your weight into your heels, sending your arms toward the sky. Exhale, straight legs, fold forward. Inhale, reaching your hands toward the sky, look up. Beautiful. Exhale, hands at your side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose. Beautiful. Straighten your legs, fold forward. Reach toward the sky with your in-breath. Next exhale, touch the top of your mat. Step back to a downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot to the sky. Exhale to warrior one. Five breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale, straighten your legs, reach up high. Exhale to down dog, stay there, find your flow. Inhale your left foot to the sky. Exhale to warrior one. Full breaths. Two more breaths. Inhale, straight legs, reach up high. Exhale to down dog. Stay there or find your flow, and we'll meet in a child's pose. So, do you know what a child's pose is?
I forgot what it was.
Okay, so place your knees as wide as your mat or wherever is comfortable for your hips. Let your big toes touch.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. You know what I'm got it? There you go. And if you have a pillow or something to prop under your head for support, if your forehead's not touching your mat, it might be nice. So you're at home, you can grab whatever you need. And we'll take this time to explore your inversion practice. If you would meet me with your legs up the invisible wall. If you choose to explore headstands, handstands, if you need support, all our trees are gone, but there's the back wall, my car. Yeah, we'll take about like 2 minutes to explore your inversion practice before settling in with our legs up the invisible wall. Feel free to jump there. And once you settle in with your legs up the wall, start to scan the body. Notice how you feel in your heart. Maybe poke your chest out toward the sky a little more. Decide where you want your hands, palms faced up if you're looking to receive. If you need to practice grounding yourself, dig your fingers into the grass, plug in. Whichever you decide, find 3 cleansing breaths in and out of your nose. Shifting your focus back to the intention that you set for class today. No pressure if you couldn't decide. Sometimes we never do. Simply thinking of 3 things that there are to be grateful for this morning. And we'll be here with our legs up the wall for another 2 minutes at least. So feel free to bend your knees if you need to or adjust according. Smells like somebody's grilling. Mm. You know you can put your legs up the wall, right?
Oh, which kind? Oh, like put the.
Lay on your back and put your legs up your wall.
Oh.
So if you don't want to move your mat close to your wall, pretend there's a wall behind your legs. Just lie on your back
I put my legs.
and yep, and just take your legs up the wall. About 10 more breaths with your legs up the wall, maybe placing your palms face down on your belly, feeling your belly rise as you send your breath to that space. Your belly contract as you exhale. Maybe finding a moment to pause with full lungs and empty lungs. We'll start to release your feet down to your mat. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side a few times, and we'll meet in a reclined cobbler. So the soles of your feet touching, knees open. So a passive hip stretch. So if you feel like this is too much in your hips, you might slide some pillows under your knees, under your thighs for support in your hips. You might even move your feet away, further away from your pelvis. Might be nice to reach your arms over your head, reaching toward Larchmere. We'll be here for another few breaths before we find a full body stretch. With an exhale, stretching your body long, we're going to settle into a banana pose. So shifting your shoulders so they kind of land to the right corner of your mat, crossing your left ankle over your left foot over your right ankle. Lucky, if you don't know what I'm saying, it's like a crescent moon is the shape that your body is in, or a banana.
Okay.
Bananasana. And notice how this feels in the side of your body. Maybe with inhales, you start to lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, you inch a little further to the corners of your mat, opening up the left side of your body, so long as it feels good. Full breath in as you full body stretch it out at the center of your mat. And with an exhale, go ahead and settle into the left corners of your mat, preparing for banana, finding those subtle movements further to the left side with your breath. Full breaths in. We'll meet at the center of your mat, full body stretch. With an exhale, bring your knees to your chest. And we'll land in a supine twist. So knees stacked to the right side of your mat, arms open wide, open hearts facing the sky. Turn your gaze past your left shoulder. If you would like to eagle wrap your left leg outside of your right leg for these last 5 breaths, go ahead. Full breaths as you undo this twist, windshield wiper your knees from left to right a few times. And go ahead and settle into another twist. Both knees bent, stacked to the left side of your mat. Arms open wide, turning your gaze past your right shoulder. If you'd like to eagle wrap your right leg outside of your left for these next 5 breaths, do so now, please. Inhale back to the center. Go ahead and drop your knees from left to right a few times. We'll meet in a constructive rest pose. So your feet are still flat on your mat, about the width of your mat. Let your knees kiss in the center. There you go. Decide where you want your hands, maybe still stretched out wide or reaching toward Larchmere over your head.
What was that?
Lie on your back. Place your feet flat on your mat, about the width of your mat, and
Mm-hmm.
let your knees meet in the center.
Okay.
Okay. Does that feel comfortable for you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Beginning to deepen your breath. Inhale your knees to your chest. We'll meet in a happy baby. Last time before we settle into a shavasana, or however you would like to close out your practice this morning.
Oh,
If you would like to join me in a seated meditation, set yourself up for that. Once you settle into this pose, just scan your body as you start to deepen your breath. Again, notice where you feel tense. Notice where you feel soft. Sending your breath to these tense spaces, inviting in some ease. If you are in a reclined position, go ahead and roll onto one side. We'll be here for another minute or so. You might bring your knees into your chest, curl up in a ball, maybe using your arm as a pillow. If you can lie down if you want to.
I'm chilling.
Nope, there are no rules. Do your thing. And we'll meet in a comfortable seat. Take your time. Once there, prayer hands at your heart. We will close out this practice with the sound of one Om. If you don't feel comfortable singing Om, no pressure, just listen. First, the cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale. One more time, breathe in. Exhale. Full breath in. Inhale your prayer hands to the center of your forehead, just above your third eye. With an exhale, take a bow in gratitude for yourself and your practice this morning. Thank you. So nice to see y'all.